Morning, Trainiacs. Got a bit of a key day today. I'm actually going to be racing in about a month. I have not spent a second of time in the aero bars in a long time. So, just to break up the workout today, I'm going to do first chunk of a bike on the fat bike just to get outside and see the sights of Winnipeg, the glorious sights of Winnipeg. And then I'm going to come in here and do a couple hours to finish off in the aero position. Mostly in the aero position. Actually, probably fairly little in the aero position, and then we'll build up. What I also haven't done in a long time is tell you what's going on with teamtrainiac.com. The best triathlon training team in the world, by the way. Love you, Trainiacs. Some people have even said, does it still exist? Are you still doing it? Yes, it very much exists, and it's awesome. We actually just released basically like version 2 of it. New coaches, new training plans, new site, new app, like new free stuff for Trainiacs. I gotta update everyone. We got a dedicated video to it today. If you aren't interested in teamtrainiac.com, by all means, wait until we get one of the next like tour videos or pro videos or training videos. But if you're at all interested in teamtrainiac.com, today's the day. Well, that was something. So I ended up doing 2 hours on the fat bike, 75 minutes on Zwift, going 10 minutes in the aero bar position, 5 minutes not, 10 minutes 5, 10 minutes 5. And then after that was all done, hop on here. I did 4K at 4:40 per kilometer, which is the target Ironman Cork run pace that we've got. It didn't feel amazing there, but it will by June. All right, let me clean up and then give you updates on Team Trainiac. This is legit. Like if you have slight interest, you will be like, well, all right, it's getting legitimate. It's getting real, yo. Okay, so a huge amount of what has gone on right here. What's happened is one of the teamtrainiac.com Trainiacs reached out in fall last year, and he's a developer, like a really good developer, and he said here are some ideas for it, and what ended up happening is he's sort of become our internal, external, part-time, awesome vice president of development. And what we found was an entire team of Ukrainian developers who can work on things like full-time, like more than full-time. So every single morning, basically, I get under the covers here from about 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. while they're still working so that we can converse back and forth and make the website better. Let me show you what's up. So while I sit here and sip delicious coffee and Pete lies there, we've been working on this. So this is the new Team Trainiac training plan. Couple of things. First off, Dr. Dan Plews and Dr. Paul Larson have helped me out to revamp every single workout so that the periodization, the weeks that are suggested, the workout structure is all built not just by me, but with some oversight by Plews and Prof. So every single one of these workouts has been just overseen, relooked at, reworked. We've also created this in such a way that before, if you said that on Thursday you wanted to do your intense run, Thursday came and you couldn't do it, well, that's too bad. Now you can take Thursday's run and just go, whoop, I'm just going to go ahead and move it to Friday, and then I'm going to switch that. You can do that. Holy smokes, that is huge. So you can move workouts around. In addition to that, people said, hey, I want to see a calendar. Well, this button up here says calendar, and you can now see an entire calendar feed for what race season you're in. Are you in race season? Are you in preseason, just base building or strength and speed building, or off season? Are you in a taper period? And then you can also see what workouts you have coming up and how long each of them are. So you can start planning out weeks, months in advance what you need to do, what time commitments you have to prepare for. We also have ended up creating, if we open up one of these workouts, every single workout has an audio or a video explanation recorded for it, customized for it, so that every single workout is very clear what you have to do, why you have to do it, why we're doing it at that particular point in the season, what the benefit is. So there are no questions about why you're doing what you're doing. Same thing with the swim technique. You see right here, while we do have the workout audio explanation, we also have an explanation of every aspect of the swim workout that could have some questions about it. So in this case, we're recommending that athletes do stretch cords, that they do a certain drill, that they use a tempo trainer, and that they use a snorkel, a band, and a pull buoy. And in each of these cases, we have an explanation as to why we have that included at this point in the season and how to execute it properly. So those are some of the updates that we've already released. Let me show you what we're working on. That's probably more exciting. Equally as exciting. One of the big requests that we had was an improvement to our social media feed. So in general, we are going to update some of the functions of the social media feed. You're going to be able to include pictures of your workouts. You're going to have threads. That's a lot more like Facebook, where you will know who commented on things and you can comment back and forth so that you can connect with other Trainiacs and help motivate each other and answer each other's questions. And then in addition to that, find some fellow Trainiacs. Now, I've always said that one of the best things about Team Trainiac is that there are a whole bunch of Trainiacs on Team Trainiac. What we're building in is functions here that, let's see if I can zoom in to show you. So you're going to be able to search for Trainiacs who live nearby, Trainiacs who live in a certain city, if they allow you to search for that. So that, let's say you're going to race in a certain city, or you are going to visit a certain city, you can see if there are any Trainiacs who live there, or Trainiacs who live nearby, or Trainiacs who are racing the same race as you. So all of a sudden you can start connecting with all the people who are on Team Trainiac that have similar, let's say, goals, and they're in similar place, and you can take this online experience to the real world. Now we also have a designer who's doing some mock-ups, and these are next on the list. So as people sign up to Team Trainiac, instead of just saying, all right, choose when you work out, how you work out, we're going to guide people to work out, and here's how it's going to work. You're going to indicate which distance of race you intend on working on most in the coming year. You're going to get a guideline of, if you're doing a certain distance of race, say 4 to 7 workouts a week is enough to finish, but 8 to 10 workouts is what you need to finish strong in a half Ironman. But then if you want to compete in a half Ironman, you have to do more like 11 to 14 workouts, and guidelines of how many hours a week that is. So then you've got context of, all right, well, I want to have this sort of goal for this kind of race. It's going to take approximately this many workouts. This is about how many hours it's going to take. Well, yeah, that's reasonable. So you've got context to choose. And then after that, you indicate which discipline you want to work on the most. And then it goes back to this. Here, I'll show you. This actually already exists. Let's say you indicated that you want to do 9 workouts a week and you want to work on your run the most. Well, we will suggest an ideal workout schedule for you. And this has been based on work that we did with Dr. Paul Larson about like what a ideal training week is. So you can take a look at this training week and see, all right, here are the swims, here are the runs. Well, maybe you've got to change around your schedule. You don't have to just do what it says. If you don't want to use that ideal training week because it just isn't practical to you, well, you can go and switch things around before you complete your workout week acceptance. And that is what your plan is going to end up giving you. It's going to generate workouts based off of your goals and what you have input in here with some guidance from us. So that's what's probably live by the time you end up seeing it. But in addition to that, we have an app coming. We have metrics and integrations with things like watches and bike computers and basically data, kind of similar to what you'd get from Training Peaks. In addition to that, if you want one-on-one coaching through this, let me introduce you to our one-on-one coach.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Scott Bavel?
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Say hi to the Trainiacs. You're being recorded.
Hey, Trainiacs. Hope everyone's training hard.
All right, that's it. So that dude is Scott Bavel. Now, when we started Team Trainiac, I was doing some one-on-one calls. When people would need a little bit of extra help besides the workouts, they would set up a one-on-one call with me. But quickly, because doing YouTube and podcasts and like running the thing, I ran out of time and my availability wasn't very great. And Scott, he is a first-year pro. He is also a low-carb athlete. He is coached by Paul Larson, so he knows all of the structure of what we're doing really, really well. And we brought the price of one-on-one coaching down to just $40 for a half-hour consultation. And that half-hour consultation can be anything that you want to talk about, and it can even be a full swim analysis. So Scott's doing all that, and he's knocking it out of the park. We're getting better reviews on him than we had with me. I'll link at the end of this video to actually that video. Scott is a daily YouTuber that he shares all of his daily training. So I'll link to that video that we just did together. Go subscribe to Scott's channel if you want your daily triathlon fix that I am not satisfying anymore. Sorry. Next, over here. One thing that I wanted to do for athletes on Team Trainiac is basically leverage all the relationships that I've got with companies that supply me with gear. So what I've started saying to them is, hey, why don't you actually supply Team Trainiac with gear? So what we've had so far is UCAN has given all the athletes on Team Trainiac a free care package. Free, straight up. You just pay for shipping, you get free. S Fuels has sent all the athletes on Team Trainiac free care package. Roka, they are sending all the athletes on Team Trainiac a free voucher. We have unreleased secret wetsuits that we are going to review and announce from Roka very soon. Hit the subscribe button below if you want to see those reviews. I think this one here, it does not exist yet, and it might be my wetsuit for the year. So throughout the year, athletes who are on Team Trainiac are going to basically get a lot of their value that they are spending on the membership given back to them by freebies from our sponsors. And then beyond that, I know I've said this every year for the last 3 years or so that triathlontaren.com is going to have a lot more written content. Well, we are actually recruiting writers to write that content and a managing editor to actually make sure that that happens. So we've got some pro athletes, we've got some pro athlete coaches, we have some researchers that are all going to end up creating a bunch of the content, and then we'll make sure that it's digestible for the average amateur triathlete. Final thing, what I'm thinking of doing, and I want to get your input on this, is perhaps 4 training camps here in Winnipeg with just 5 athletes each, and we rent a house that is just a few streets over that has 5 bedrooms, and everyone gets their own bedroom. They come here from probably Wednesday to Sunday. We'll train Here in the Pain Cave, we'll do swim analyses, we'll do swim workouts at the big Pan Am pool that you see, we'll do perhaps the group ride that you always see me on, we'll do the runs and the rides that you see me on, and we might even bring in to town some of the coaches like Scott Bayville, and we'll start doing analyses of setting you up for the year, getting your nutrition dialed in, your zones. I'd want the training camp to be as much about making you a better athlete so that you know how to do better training when you leave the training camp, a lot more than I'd want it to be about just smashing you for a bunch of days. But here's the thing. I want to make sure that you're interested in that. So what I'll do is I will put a link in the description below that if you're interested in it, I'm thinking it would be like 1 in June, 2 in July, 1 in August for somewhere around, I'm just going to throw a number out here, like $22.50, including your camp, some food, and your lodging. Beyond that, you just got to get to Winnipeg, and I think flights to Winnipeg are kind of cheap. So I'll put a link in the description below where if this is something that you'd consider, just put your email address in, and then we'll start communicating by email about like potential dates and stuff like that. So like just 4 camps, 5 spots each, 20 total spots. So there you go, Trainiacs. That is the teamtrainiac.com update. If you've ever thought about giving it a try, we have a 14-day free trial. Go check it out. Lots of super interesting things happening, lots of improvements rolling out. I think it's going to be really awesome. It is really awesome. We got some really awesome people working on it. Thanks to all the teamtrainiac.com members who are on there hitting PBs out there. And thanks to all the Scott Bayvilles and Laytons and Xenias and Lydias and all the people and NTKs that are working on it to make it super awesome. So that's what's up. Check out Scott Bayville's video here. Link in the description below if you want to consider the training camp. Later, Trainiacs.